Hello everyone, this is Dishanoli. This is my first YouTube video, and I thought let's start by explaining it to you what Agile is, right? So Agile is the new buzzword. We keep hearing it at work and beyond it. Agile, Scrum, Kanban, and all those buzzwords. So what it is. So in this video, I'll explain to you what Agile is in a pretty ordinary, simple, and a layman's language. In a language in which probably we can explain it to our grandmoms. Okay. Right. So if you try to continually improve yourself at what you do, then I would say you're Agile. If you don't fear to fail, if you believe that to approach the best way to approach a complex problem is to just get to it, just start doing it, and then learn it to do better by just doing it, then you're Agile. You believe that the best way to solve a complex problem is to just do it, learn it, and do it better. If collaboration comes naturally to you, you're a fluid collaborator. You believe that you are a team person, then you're Agile. And believe it or not, humans are intrinsically agile, right? In our daily lives, in our day-to-day lives, we are a living example of what agile is. It's just that when we get to software development, because software development doesn't come naturally to us, we forget to carry some of our behaviors from our real lives to work. Let me try explaining of how we are agile and probably what agile is by giving you some simple examples and observations from our daily lives. So let's start. Example number one. So for example, I intend to take a big road trip. I want to go to a vacation, right? I live in a town X and I am traveling to a town Y, some 24 kilometers, a huge distance. And the traveling distance is close to 24 hours, right? And I know typically the traffic can be very erratic on roads, right? It's unpredictable. I cannot just forecast how much time I could take. I could take the help from Google to see the past traffic, how the traffic trends, but I cannot know for sure because it just has too many uncertainties. I don't know what the traffic would be. I don't know whether there could be an accident. I don't know if my car could break down, anything, right? I don't, so what happens is that I don't make a hard frozen plan. What I do is that I make a high level superficial forecast, right? That if I leave at 7 a.m., assumingly there is no traffic, I could reach my destination at somewhere next morning at 7, 8 a.m., right? This is what I do. So when I take a road trip, what I do is that, for example, I have to leave 7 a.m. in the morning. I wake up and I see Google Maps. I see what are the traffic patterns, what is the traffic as of that moment. I take the road which Google says has the least amount of traffic, right? I don't worry at that moment to take a screenshot of the entire road, right, of the entire trip. I just start on the road with the limited knowledge that I have that as of this moment, this is the road which has the least amount of traffic. And what I do is that instead of making a whole big hard frozen plan, I say that in 3 hours we have to reach this town, the nearest town Z, right? And if I'm on track, I continue with the same map, right? With the same plan that probably I had in mind of how many pit stops I would be taking and how many coffee breaks and how many bio breaks. But what if I'm running 1 hour behind? Then I adapt my plan. What if I see traffic building up, right? So what is the first thing that I do when I see there's a congestion on the road? I intrinsically or intuitively open Google Maps to see what's the traffic like. Is it a 1 minute congestion? Is it a 2 minute congestion? Or there's a larger congestion? So I want to see if there has been a traffic accident. And if the congestion is long, or if there has been an accident, what next I try to do? I try to find an alternative. I try to take a deviation because I learned something new. And based upon that new information, I'm adapting myself. I'm inspecting my journey and I'm adapting my journey with the information that I have. And the same thing I keep doing throughout my journey, right? So I keep learning new things and new happenings as they occur, and I keep adapting my journey, right? I take lesser feedback, pit stops. I take lesser buy breaks when I'm falling behind, I'm running late. I take extended breaks when I'm running ahead of schedule. So that's what we are being agile in our real life, and that's what agile is. Okay, if this example didn't stick, then let me give you a different example, right? So everybody, each of us have played sports at some point of our life, right? And in India, typically cricket is a big, is the most popular sport, I would say. And if you have played cricket professionally, you know that the opponent or a cricket team doesn't make a hard frozen plan, right? We adapt ourselves, we learn about the conditions, and then we progress accordingly. So if you have been a cricket captain, a team's captain, while going to the toss, you inspect the environment, the weather, the pitch, the bowling conditions, the batting conditions, everything. And based upon that, if you win the toss, you elect to bowl or bat first. So, for example, if you have started to bat, and if the conditions are swinging, you don't make a plan, right? That we have, in order to reach a score of 220 overs, we have to play shots right from the beginning, right? You say that the conditions are tough. Let's go out in the middle. Let's try to see how the conditions are, how much the ball is swinging, and then we'll decide out. And this is what you do. You keep talking to your partner. On the other hand, between overs, you see that now the ball is swinging very much. Let's try to block. Let's not lose a wicket. And when the probably let's make the ball older. And when the ball stops swinging, then we'll play our shots. And this is what you do. If there is lesser swing, you discuss that. Let's play our shots. Let's play on the up, right? So what you're doing is that you're fluid in your plans. You're not making a hard frozen plan, but you're planning at each step of your journey. You're learning to do it better. You're inspecting the circumstances at every opportunity that you're getting, and you're adapting yourselves to do the stuff better. And that is essentially what agile means, right? So agile is a way for you to handle complex work, right? Things that involve too much uncertainty, things that you cannot predict. To achieve those kind of things, it's important that you are fluid in your plans. It's important that you imbibe these behaviors. So there's a word called empiricism, right? In software development, you've heard about it. And that's a pillar of being agile, right? And that says that it's hard or probably impossible to predict the future. The best possible way to handle the uncertainty is to learn by doing it and then do it better. And this is essentially what agile is. So I hope I was able to give some gyan or explain you what agile is. And thank you very much for listening to it. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. See you next time on a different topic. Until then, goodbye.